Hello and welcome to Double Barrel Gaming. I'm your host, MrBooMStickXL, and on today's video, I want to discuss Microsoft's marketing this gen. Now, as a diehard Xbox gamer, I have been very open and opinionated on how poor the leadership has been regarding their marketing. Now, let me take a minute to explain how the Xbox brand went from first to worst regarding marketing, and it was and still is Microsoft's Achilles heel. But in this video, I will break down what I think they need to do to fix this glaring issue that is still plaguing the brand today. In 2013, when the Xbox One was being talked about by Microsoft brass, there were mixed messages, confusion, and one executive talking over another. But unfortunately, it didn't stop there. All the way up to the public reveal and launch of the Xbox One in 2014 had many gamers scratching their heads. The Xbox division was run by Don Matrick, also known as Donnie D, who was responsible for following the incredible success of the Xbox 360 and clearly failed. His infamous "if you want to play offline, I have a console for you," referring to the older Xbox 360, damaged the brand in a way that some thought they could never come back from. Numerous media outlets reported that 90 days after he revealed the Xbox One to the world and that outrageous FU to the fan base, he was given his walking papers. After his abrupt departure, or firing in air quotes, things didn't get any better over at Team Xbox. Someone thought that Terry, the human Roblox Myerson, who was the executive VP of Windows and Devices, was the right guy for the job to make the important investment decisions for the Xbox One. This move required Phil Spencer, who at the time was the head of Microsoft Game Studios, to run all Xbox game decisions through him. This is where Myerson earned the nickname the Human Roblox. The first and second party support took a drastic and very different direction when it came to investing in the Xbox One. Those ripple effects are still being felt today, and it was clear as day that Myerson had no faith in the Xbox division. In fact, he nearly destroyed the brand. In September of 2017, Phil Spencer was promoted to the senior leadership team, gaining the title of Executive VP of Gaming for Xbox. In my opinion, and many of the Xbox faithful, this was a pinnacle moment in the brand's history, and one that would see huge positive change coming to the platform. Upon getting this new position, Phil Spencer had made lots of promises, and he has kept up his end of the bargain ever since. Under his leadership, the Xbox fan base saw the creation of the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, backwards compatibility support that spans 3 generations, and just recently, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and the next generation defining ProjectX-Cloud. Let's not forget that post E3 2018, Phil Spencer did something never before seen in gaming. Microsoft doubled their first-party studios, and as of this video, the Xbox brand now has 15 first-party studios under its belt. The future of the brand has been on the rise, and there is a ton of things to be excited about. Most things have changed for the better for Microsoft, though this is where I have to criticize the one glaring weak spot. As someone who spends 80% of his gaming on the Xbox, I consider myself a true fan, and though I expect I'm going to get some negative feedback, I'm okay with it. The marketing in this generation has been nothing short of the worst I've ever seen. In fact, I can't believe the same people still are in those positions. While researching for this video, I did a Google search and typed in, "who is the head of Xbox marketing?" These are the 4 names that came up, and to be completely honest, I've never heard of any of them. Mike Nichols, Corporate Vice President, Chief Marketing Officer, Xbox Microsoft, and he's held the position since January of 2014 to present. Robert Matthews, Chief Integrated Marketing Officer, Xbox Gaming, holding this position since May of 2018 to present. He's been with the company for 10 years. Rosanna Aranabar, Global Marketing and Brand Identity Leader, has held the position since July of 2018 to present and has been with Microsoft for 3 years. Chris R. Lewis at Microsoft Xbox, Head of Third-Party Marketing, Xbox Europe, and has been with Microsoft for 14 years. 2 of the 4 positions were recently filled in 2018, one in May and one in July. To be completely fair, we did see some significant change in the direction of third-party marketing deals. They acquired the marketing rights for both Fallout 76 and Anthem, and even though both titles did underperform, they were still huge. That same aggressive marketing tactic that was missing in prior years continued in 2019. They acquired the marketing rights for Metro Exodus, Borderlands 3, The Division 2, Devil May Cry 5, Mortal Kombat 11, and the highly anticipated Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And the icing on the cake, so to speak, is getting the marketing rights for 2020's biggest game in Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I'm not a businessman, but I do have common sense, and I can clearly see that there was a change made in 2018, and it was certainly for the better regarding third-party marketing deals. In truth, the push for the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate service has been strong, and even though this conversation is about Microsoft and the Xbox, I have to bring up Sony and the PlayStation 4 for comparison. Sony's marketing in this entire generation is what I would call aggressive, unforgiving, ballsy, and some of the best I've ever seen. When it comes to third-party marketing deals in this entire generation, Sony is king, and it appears that Microsoft took a page right out of their book, though I wish they'd do more. This is where Microsoft falls short, unfortunately. When it comes to Sony's first and second party, it's marketed towards the hardcore fan base. In fact, just the other day, Jim Sterling, head of Sony, made a very strong and exciting statement to the PS4 fans regarding their plans for next gen, where it appears they're taking the same approach. Sony's marketing is so good that many of the third-party marketing deals were done in a way where casual players actually thought they were exclusive to the PlayStation platform. One of the other great marketing techniques that Sony does is that they sell hope. Not being afraid to show a game that sometimes 2, 3, and even 4 years out has been something that's worked for them very well. Also, not to be forgotten about is how they market to the hardcore. The hardcore PlayStation 4 gamers will sell the console and its amazing first-party games to the casual audience. They do this through word of mouth, social media, and big-time marketing through TV ads, basketball and football games, as well as being in movie theaters. Again, this is something that the Microsoft marketing team does not do on a regular basis. As fantastic and amazing as the Xbox One X is, they need to put their third-party marketing up in the face of all of the players, proving that this, in fact, is the best place to play. They've been doing this through grassroots tactics, which I am not a fan of. Also, teaming up with YouTube personalities who have talked negatively about the brand in the past simply because they have big sub numbers is something that I frown upon. A lot of these guys and gals are posers and don't care about the Xbox console or its fan base. If Phil Spencer doesn't course correct the marketing issues before the start of the next generation, we could see a repeat of what happened in this gen, and I don't want that. This grassroots ideology is not working. They need to return to a more aggressive way of pushing the brand, something they did very well in the 360 era. They used an in-your-face kind of a tactic that said this was the best place to play and we have the games to prove it. They need to start the next generation with swagger, touting that their console and games are better than Sony's. Something else that needs to happen immediately is they need to address the hardcore the same way Sony does. Taking a page right out of their playbook would be awesome. Have confidence in your IPs and developers. Don't be afraid to show a game that's 36 or even 48 months out. Sony showed off Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, and Days Gone years before they were made available. Some people called it smoke and mirrors. I call it ingenious marketing. It's the reason why Sony has sold nearly 100 million PS4s worldwide. Nearly 80% of the 100 million consoles sold have been bought by the casual audience. Sony did this with the help of the hardcore who made it the cool system. The strong first-party games and unrelenting marketing is how they took first place this generation and never looked back. Now, do I think Microsoft is going to follow the same tactics that they used in this generation? The answer would be no. We've seen big changes at Microsoft post E3 2018, and I believe that those changes will continue through the next generation. I've seen that Gears 5 has been making the news on social media. Lots of Xbox gamers are concerned about the marketing or lack of. If Gears 5 fails to move the needle and sells Xbox One consoles to the casual market, then Phil Spencer is going to need to make some big changes. In fact, I would do a reshuffling of the entire marketing division. This is by far the biggest Xbox One release in years, and if they fail to do their jobs, then why have them around? Now understand, I would never want to see anyone lose their jobs, but with that said, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then it's time to make some moves. I want to thank you for taking 10 minutes out of your day to listen to this video. I put a significant amount of work into it and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm still very excited to see what Microsoft is going to do in the next generation with Project X-Cloud and the Xbox Anaconda, but I'm extremely interested to hear what you have to say. Please leave all opinions in the comment section below. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Double Barrel Gaming. If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit that like button, share this video on social media, and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again for watching. Have an awesome day.